the sun is just starting to climb up over the treetops. And it's gonna be a beautiful day, that's plain to see.
Welcome to Bill Dance Outdoors, America's most popular and longest running TV fishing show.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
Memphis. Our host Bill Dance's hometown on the mighty Mississippi River is the largest city in Tennessee, and for many, it is perhaps best known as the City of the Blues. The Memphis Blues is a style of blues music that was created in the 1910s to 1930s by well-known Memphis area musicians like W.C. Handy and, of course, Elvis Presley. But in the past several years, Memphis has also gained a certain amount of notoriety for a different type of blues. This area of the mighty Mississippi River has become well known as one of the best places anywhere to fish for big blue catfish. Blues are the largest species of North American catfish, reaching a length of 65 inches and a weight of 150 pounds. Their average length is about 25 to 46 inches, and they can live up to 20 years. Today, as we look in on our host Bill Dance, he's speeding down a section of river that lies not too far from the now famous Bass Pro Shops Pyramid. He's hit the water early today to spend a little time field testing a new Big Cat XT rod, being introduced by one of his longtime sponsors, Zebco. Then a little later in the day, the plan is to return to the dock to pick up his good friend George Young, and together the two of them can find more catfish action to make a good feature here on Bill Dance Outdoors. Let's watch.
We'll just ease in. I got the big fish right here suspended at 20. We'll look at them all across at 41 feet. That unit right there will flat mark fish. There we go. Zebco has always been a go-to rod and reel combo, no matter the species, for thousands and thousands of anglers. And now they're offering some new must-haves for catfish anglers' arsenals, all under Zebco's Big Cat XT banners. Now, these products include spinning combos, spin cast combos, as well as a matching line of XT rods. Now, the Big Cat XT spinning combo reels come in two sizes, 50 and 80. The 50 size reel is paired with a 7-foot rod, while the 80 is matched with a 10-footer. The reels can hold line sizes of 10 to 50 pound mono, and you can go even heavier with smaller diameter braids. The Big Cat XT spin cast reels have 4 ball bearings and continuous anti-reverse, and the reel is paired with a 7-foot rod. The Big Cat XT rods come in 7, 8, 9, and 10-foot lengths. The fact these items are made by Zebco, well, that says it all for me. They're the experts when it comes to making rods and reels for any species. But when they design species-specific tackle, if it's the species you target, catfishermen, you better be sure to check it out. That ain't a bad one. There we go, buddy. Time to go home. That rod worked out pretty well. Good sensitive tip, a lot of backbone through the lower section, good comfortable handles. Handle a good sized fish extremely well too. Okay, back to the boat ramp. Let's go get George.
Bill Dance Outdoors is sponsored in part by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere. and by Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Today's Conditions Log is brought to you by the Tennessee Department of Tourist Development. Come experience the kind of beauty that can only be made in Tennessee. Go online today for your free Tennessee vacation guide. Well, that field testing of the new Zebco XT Catfish rod sure turned out well. So now it's time to go pick up his buddy George Young back at the dock as planned. George lives close by in a small town near Jonesboro, Arkansas. He's an all-around good guy, popular catfish tournament trail promoter of the Mississippi River Monsters, and a close friend of Bill's. He just recently put on one of the biggest catfish tournaments ever held here in Memphis and sponsored by Bass Pro Shops. George is also quite an accomplished catfisherman himself. He and Bill have fished together many times and also paired up as contestants in quite a few popular catfish tournaments too, winning 5 of them together. They're up against some slight odds today because the mighty Mississippi is on a slight rise, and neither of our anglers are fond of non-favorable conditions like this. Not to worry though, both Bill and George are used to less than perfect conditions, and they obviously know this catfish business extremely well. So, what do you say? Let's sit back and learn a little more about finding and boating big blues on the mighty Mississippi.
Better fish than you think, ain't it?
I don't know, Bill. Just coming up the river.
I'll get the bogus. George, come up in the middle of the boat.
Okay. He might be bigger than I think.
Oh, he's a little one.
He might be a little bitty one too.
He ain't no little. I saw some bubbles. But I saw some bubbles on that. Oh, he's okay.
He's a
I don't know
20.
where the bogus are.
They're right here.
Huh? Here, I got the rod. Grab him. You're over there by him.
Got it?
Yeah. He likes to get them, so I always let him do this. That's why I brought him along. Ooh, that's a pretty one.
That's a pretty nice fish. See how they can fool you?
I know they can fool you when you're inexperienced.
Let me see them Bill Dance pliers.
There you go.
Well, them pliers work good.
Yeah, they do.
Thank you, sir. Pretty nice fish. 22 pounds.
That's not bad.
Pretty fish. Long fish.
Hadn't missed a meal.
Nope. That's what we come out here for. Give him a drink, let him go.
Woo.
What you got, Mr. Bill?
I don't know what I got. It's just a weird feeling.
That looks like a pretty good one.
Feels pretty good. Of course, you never can tell when they're coming up. He's swimming up the stream. It's a flathead, just what I thought.
Oh, that's pretty. Look how pretty.
He really yells up, isn't he?
Oh, that is a pretty fish.
I think they're gorgeous. They are a pretty little fish.
That is a pretty fish.
Out of that muddy water. Ready to go home? They say that's a good eating fish, though.
One of the best.
Here we go.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Quantum Rods and Reels. Outsmart, outfish, outlast. Mystic Lubricants, lubrication domination. And Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Today's equipment log is brought to you in part by Gamakatsu, because the fish of a lifetime only comes once in a lifetime. Today's show is sponsored in part by Stren, the standard of dependability since 1958. Fish defunk, kill the stink. And Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish find you.
The majority of fish we're catching today are scattered in depths ranging from 35 feet to 100 feet or more, with some in small schools and depth of 65 feet.
Oh boy.
Pretty good. Let me get out of the way here. You and Jack Wells at B&M have been experimenting with different kind of catfish rigs. You've got two different rigs there. You've got one small one and one a little bit longer. I would think that the long one would be for when you'd use a longer line.
Yeah, the longer leader line, the longer three-way, be better, you know, with the longer leader line because you get the main line away from the hook leader.
Now, what's the size of that chain swivel on the smaller one?
The chain swivel coming off the side of the Pro Series is 125 pounds.
Oh, that's strong.
It's you can see we really worked on making this swivel as small as possible because we want as little water resistance as possible when you're bumping.
Well,
a lot of your
125, that's strong.
Yeah, and you know the size of that's going to, you know, very little water resistance. So most of your 125 pound chain swivels will be much bigger than that.
All right, what about that other one?
All right, this is the three-way wired swivel.
That's the one, I really like that one.
Yeah, it's a longer three-way, and the reason, you know, like Bill said he likes this one better is it separates the hook leaders, the main line, and the weight leaders more. Tied up here on top with the main line, coming off the center with the hook leader, you got much more distance, and then to the bottom with the weight leader. It just separates everything further, allows you to use a longer hook leader, which and a longer weight leader, which allows you to, you know, get hung up less.
I like that.
Yeah, and these are also 125 pound swivels. Actually, this top one's 150 pound swivel. The hook leader swivel is 125 pound swivel. Come on up, baby. I just want to see you.
I got him. Woo, good one too. You take him right now. Let me move the boat for that.
Okay.
Let me get this motor. Get out of the way of that barge. Nice fish.
You know, take him home.
Let him go home.
Let him go home. All right, big boy. Get him a drink.
There he goes. Nice one.
Yeah, you can see those fish hanging on that ledge right there.
The fish that bit you was just about 55. Boy, he went boom.
Thumped it, did he?
I mean, he nailed it.
Biggin?
Can't tell, I don't think so.
Coming up the river?
He's smoking it north. He's just an old catfish, but fun to catch.
Look how white, real white fish. Another pretty one. There you go, Mayor. Mr. Bill. That's a happy cat.
It's fat, ain't it?
Oh, it's fat. Pretty fish.
Toodaloo.
Bill's question and answer of the week is brought to you by Bill Dance Digital. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for great information that can improve your fishing.
Tell me one more time the proper way to spool line on an open face spinning reel. Well, normally when you're spooling on braid, twist isn't a problem. But with mono and fluorocarbon, well, that's a different story. When you're spooling one of these on, place the spool flat with the spool facing you, where the line will peel off the filler spool counterclockwise as you reel it on the reel.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Millennium Marine, a new class of comfort. And Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for anglers. Closed captioning is provided by Bill Dance Digital. Follow us. Today's product tip is brought to you by Garmin and their GPS map series, chart plotter sonar combos. With advanced sonar technology like Chirp and exclusive Panoptix all-seeing sonar, you'll spend less time finding your fish.
I learned a long time ago that you're only as good as the people you work with, and you only perform well if you use the best equipment possible. That's why I've always tried to associate myself with good folks and good stuff. Consider this 250 Merc Optimax. It helps me make a living. What can I say about this old gal? She's always dependable, totally reliable, and always ready to go when I am.
If you're looking for the latest fishing information and tips, be sure to check out the free Bill Dance mobile app, available for both iOS and Android users.
What you got? Georgie Porgy.
I got a Mississippi River blue cat.
It got a rap or a reputation as a trash fish. It's not a trash fish. You go in any restaurant and look, it's one of the top items on the menu. What is it?
Yeah, I'd say it'd be catfish, and I'd say catfish, as far as fish sold in restaurants, outsell any fish there is.
That is, and they're delicious to eat, and they're fun to catch.
Absolutely.
They're absolutely a sport fish.
And,
I tell you
they're
one
not
thing.
easy to catch.
Huh?
A lot of people think they're easy to catch. Try coming out and catching you a 40 or 50 pound catfish. It's not easy. I want you to look how that fish is barely hooked.
Yeah. Look how fat he is.
I mean, that is one fat fish. Big old long fish.
Yeah.
Go back home. To even come close to catching a fish in fresh water, there's no other.
And the popularity of this sport has grown so much.
Oh, it's growing leaps and bounds.
It's like your tournament,
Yeah,
I mean, you just had a tournament this last year. You had 180 some odd.
184 boats. Yeah.
And that's phenomenal.
That's phenomenal. I mean, since I've been in the sport, it's just unbelievable, the growth and the speed of the growth. It's just every year you see new people coming in, new companies coming in.
You look, you got catfish rods, you got catfish reels, you got catfish boats, you got catfish lines, you got catfish tournaments like what you're doing. You got another big one this year,
Right.
Sponsored by Bass Pro.
Right.
But surprisingly, only about 3% of that, what you're looking at there, is fishable. That you can fish. You'd agree to that?
Absolutely. If you can fish the Mississippi, I believe you can fish anywhere. And you'll never master the Mississippi.
Oh, no.
As soon as you think you have it mastered, she'll show you who's the boss.
Hear that? I think his tail weighs 10 pounds.
Oh, that's a pretty fish.
He's a hard-headed thing. I don't know how good he's hooked.
He don't want to play right.
Oh, he's open. Open his mouth for you, George.
32 pounds.
32, I'll take you. Let me mention one other thing. George has been fishing this river for a long time and he knows a lot about it. He knows how to catch catfish on it, summer, fall, winter, spring. And he started a guide service on the river. If you really want to have a good time, you really want to get in touch with him. He'll entertain you, he'll show you how to do it. You'll have a ball fishing with him and you'll catch a lot of fish. Is that right?
That's right, buddy.
And the name of your guide service is?
Mississippi River Monster Guide Service.
I know I caught my 3 biggest fish. We were together.
Yeah.
I caught a 75, an 82, and a
110.
And 110.
Missing the Tennessee state record by 2 pounds.
Yeah, luckily. We've had a great time. We appreciate you tuning in. And make plans to fish this great river. It's a phenomenal fishery, full of catfish. And get in touch with George and he'll show you a good time. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you,
Had
buddy.
a great time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
Thanks for watching Bill Dance Outdoors. Join us here again next week.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.